What happens when a lion mates with a tiger? Or when a polar bear breeds with a grizzly? Nature's answer: creatures that shouldn't exist but do. Some weigh over 1,000 pounds bigger than both parents combined. Others are so rare only 8 exist in the wild. And one, worth $10,000 per insect. Today we're counting down the 10 most incredible hybrid animals. Some you've heard of, others will blow your mind. Number 10. Mules, the original hybrid. Let's start with the most famous, mules and hinnies, the OG hybrids. Humans have been breeding these for thousands of years. A mule is a male donkey crossed with a female horse. A hinny, reverse it, male horse, female donkey, same species combo, totally different results. Mules are powerhouses. They inherited the donkey's endurance and the horse's strength. Ancient civilizations used them like heavy-duty pickup trucks hauling cargo, plowing fields, jobs neither parent could handle alone. But there's a catch. Almost all mules and hinnies are sterile. They can't reproduce. Why? Horses have 64 chromosomes. Donkeys have 62. Mules end up with 63, an odd number that makes producing viable sex cells nearly impossible. There have been about 60 documented cases of female mules giving birth in history. But it's exceptionally rare. So every mule you see exists because humans intentionally bred it. They're the ultimate working hybrid, useful, but evolutionary dead ends. Number 9. Ligers, the world's largest cat. Now let's talk superstars, ligers. Male lion plus female tiger equals the biggest cat on Earth. We're talking 900 to 1. 200 pounds, double the weight of either parent. The heaviest on record, 1,600 pounds, some measure 11 feet long. Why so massive? It's all genetics. Male lions pass on growth-promoting genes. Female tigers lack growth-inhibiting genes. The result? No biological brakes on growth. Ligers just keep getting bigger. They look wild, lion-like head, sometimes with a short mane, tiger stripes across a tawny body. They can roar like lions and love swimming like tigers, a behavioral mashup. Here's the weird part: ligers only exist in captivity. Lions live in Africa. Tigers live in Asia. Their ranges never overlap in the wild. Every liger you've ever seen was born in a zoo, and they're controversial. Many develop health issues: organ failure, arthritis, neurological problems. That massive body puts stress on organs not designed for it. Animal rights groups argue breeding them is unethical. Female ligers can sometimes reproduce. Males are always sterile. Scientists have bred female ligers with male lions to create ligers, second-generation hybrids. It gets weirder from here. Number 8. Tiggins, the rare reverse. Flip the script: male tiger, female lioness. You get a tiggin. Tiggins are ligers' smaller cousins. They weigh around 400 pounds, about the same as a regular lion or tiger. Why smaller? Both parents carry growth-limiting genes. The tiger dad's genes and lion mom's genes both say stop growing. So Tiggins don't get the gigantism ligers experience. They're gorgeous though. Tiger stripes on a darker orange coat. Males might grow a small mane, but nothing like a lion's. Personality-wise, they act more like solitary tigers than social lions. Here's the brutal truth: Tiggins are even rarer than ligers. Breeding success rate between lions and tigers is already low, maybe 1–2%. Tiggin survival rate? Some estimates say 1 in 500,000. Why? The cubs are too large for the lioness to carry. High rates of stillbirth. High maternal death rates. It's dangerous for everyone involved. A 13th century Chinese prime minister allegedly became so obsessed with cricket fighting that it contributed to his empire's downfall. But we'll get to crickets later. Only a handful of zoos worldwide have Tiggins. Most prefer breeding ligers because bigger cats draw bigger crowds. Tiggins are the forgotten hybrids. Number 7. Pizzly bears, nature's climate warning. Canadian Arctic. A hunter shoots what he thinks is a polar bear. But something's off. The fur is white but with brown patches. The claws are too long. There's a grizzly-like shoulder hump. DNA test comes back half polar bear, half grizzly. the hunter almost faced jail time for shooting a grizzly illegally. This was the first confirmed wild hybrid bear. Scientists call them Pizzly bears or Growler bears, depending on which parent is which. Here's what makes this huge: it happened naturally. No zoo, no human intervention. Just two species adapting to climate change. As Arctic sea ice melts, polar bears are forced onto land during mating season. Grizzlies are expanding north into polar bear territory. The species are overlapping. Since 2006, scientists have confirmed 8 hybrid bears in the wild, all descendants of the same female polar bear. That's it, 8, in nearly 20 years. But here's the concern: as climate change accelerates, these encounters will increase. Some scientists worry polar bears could hybridize out of existence, absorbed into the grizzly population, losing the genetic adaptations that let them survive on sea ice. Pizzly bears are climate change-made flesh, living proof that ecosystems are shifting. Number 6. Leopons, the extinct hybrid. Male leopard, female lioness. The result: leopons. These were stunning animals. Leopard-sized body with a lion's build. Male leopons grew manes up to 8 inches long, shorter than a lion's but longer than a leopard's ruff. They moved with a leopard's agility but stood with a lion's presence. India and Japan successfully bred leopons in zoos in the early 1900s. Handlers reported they were unpredictable, sometimes docile, sometimes aggressive. The behavioral mix of two different big cat temperaments. But here's the sad part: the last known leopon died in 1985. None exist today. They're gone. Why? Breeding programs stopped. Conservationists argued resources should go to endangered species, not creating hybrids. Leopons took up valuable zoo space that could house critically endangered animals. Now they only exist in photographs and historical records. A reminder that hybrid animals are fragile, dependent on human intervention to exist, and easily lost when priorities shift. Number 5. Wolfins, the marine hybrid. Underwater, things get interesting. A wolfin is a bottlenose dolphin crossed with a false killer whale. Despite the name, false killer whales are actually dolphins, part of the same family. These hybrids are incredibly rare. The most famous was Kekamalu, born at Sea Life Park in Hawaii in 1985. She lived for decades and even had her own calf, proof that some hybrids can be fertile. Wolfins are intermediate in size, bigger than dolphins, smaller than false killer whales. Their coloring blends both parents. They're highly intelligent, playful, and social, but they're exceptionally hard to breed. Most attempts fail. Pregnancy rates are low. Infant survival is even lower. China's Fushan Ocean Park had a wolfin born around 2011, but it died shortly after birth. Worldwide, you can count living wolfins on one hand. They prove one thing: hybridization isn't limited to land. It happens in the ocean too, just rarely, and with mixed success. Number 4. Jeep, the sheep-goat mistake. Botswana, a farm reports a bizarre birth: a lamb with goat features. This is a Jeep, a hybrid of a male sheep and a female goat. It looked like nature's Frankenstein creation. Goat-like rough outer coat, but soft wool underneath. Long goat legs, but a heavy sheep body. It walked with an awkward waddle. Jeep are incredibly rare in the wild. Sheep and goats have different numbers of chromosomes. Sheep have 54. Goats have 60. That makes successful reproduction almost impossible. This particular Jeep had a personality as mixed up as its genetics. Curious like a goat, social like a sheep, high libido but sterile. Like most hybrids, it lived for 10 months before being castrated to control its behavior. A short, strange life. Jeep remind us that just because two animals can physically mate doesn't mean they should. The offspring often suffer genetic incompatibilities, health issues, behavioral confusion. Number 3. Beefalo, the delicious hybrid. Now we get practical. Beefalo, male American bison crossed with domestic cattle. This isn't a zoo curiosity. This is agriculture. Beefalo are bred specifically for meat. They're considered one of the greatest achievements in livestock hybridization. Why? They're docile, easy to raise, and produce superior beef. Their meat has higher protein, lower fat, and lower cholesterol than regular beef. It's tender, flavorful, and healthier, perfect for health-conscious consumers and steak lovers alike. And unlike most hybrids, beefalo are fertile. They can reproduce. That means ranchers can breed them at scale, creating a sustainable livestock population. Thousands of beefalo exist across North America. They're sold in grocery stores, served in restaurants. You've probably eaten beefalo without knowing it. This is hybridization with a purpose, not spectacle, but sustenance. Proof that sometimes crossing species creates something genuinely better. Number 2, the one-of-a-kind camel. Dubai, 1995. Scientists at a camel breeding center attempt something unprecedented, artificially inseminating a llama with camel sperm. It works. The result? The world's only camel-llama hybrid. And I mean only. To this day, there is exactly one comma. No others have been successfully bred. It's bizarre looking. Llama length ears halfway between a camel's long ears and a llama's short ones. Long camel legs and tail. Perfect for desert travel, but no hump. Instead, it has a llama's fluffy coat. The genetics are wild. Camels have 74 chromosomes. Llamas have 78. Somehow, the has 74 and it's fertile. It can theoretically reproduce. But despite decades of trying, scientists haven't created a second one. The remains a biological anomaly, a one-off experiment living in Dubai. It's valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars not for practical use, but as a scientific curiosity, living proof that even closely related species can produce wildly unpredictable offspring. Number 1. Fighting crickets to $10. 000 insect. You thought we were done with hybrids? We're ending with the most unexpected one. In China, cricket fighting is a 1,000-year-old tradition. And I'm not talking about a casual hobby. This is a multi-million-dollar industry. Ningyan County in Shandong Province generates $94 million annually from fighting crickets. Elite fighters sell for $2.500 each. Some collectors have paid over $10,000 for a single insect. Every September and October, hunters fan out into cornfields at night with headlamps, searching for the perfect specimen. Big head, strong mandibles? Good, they're looking for jaw power. Back in Beijing, trainers prepare crickets like Olympic athletes. Special diets, training matches. And here's the bizarre part, crickets fight better after mating. So before a fight, trainers pair males with multiple females to boost aggression. The fights themselves are surprisingly civilized. 2 males in a clear ring. Owners brush them with frayed reeds to provoke aggression. The crickets chirp battle cries, lock mandibles, wrestle, losers retreat. Rarely any injuries. Winners retire to luxury hand-carved ivory cages, porcelain jars, fed tofu and worms. Underground bets exceed $10,000 per match. During the Cultural Revolution, cricket fighting was banned as bourgeois, but it's back. National championships, televised events. And yes, some fighting crickets are hybrids. Breeders cross different cricket species to create larger, more aggressive fighters. It's selective breeding taken to an extreme. Closing. So there you have it. 10 hybrid animals that prove nature and human curiosity knows no boundaries. Some, like beefalo, serve a purpose. Others, like ligers, exist purely for spectacle. A few, like Pizzly bears, are warnings about climate change. And one, the is $1 million accident that can't be replicated. But all of them share one thing: they challenge our understanding of what defines a species. Most hybrids are sterile. Most face health problems. Most wouldn't survive without human intervention. They exist in the gap between two species, never quite fitting into either world. Reproductive isolation is nature's way of keeping species distinct. These hybrids are the exceptions, the outliers, the genetic wildcards. And they remind us, life finds a way, even when it probably shouldn't. If you want to see these animals, some zoos have ligers and tigans. Pizzly bears are in the wild, good luck finding them. And if you want to see a book a flight to Dubai. There's only one. Which hybrid shocked you most? Let me know in the comments. And if you're curious about other biological anomalies, hit subscribe. Nature's full of surprises.